Play the game. Where's the weakness?
I asked you that.
I know. But the best thing I can come up with is Lenore and Thomas if the other quarterback gets time.
Boy, that's a great question.
But I don't even know if that's a fair answer. Because in the NFL, if you give the other quarterback time, the fastest human beings on the planet are going to get open. If you give Tua time, as they would say in college, strike up the band. You're not going to. What are you going to do? Ask someone to stay with Tyreek Hill?
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah.
So I don't blame the guys for that. You know what I mean? Like that, it all has to work in unison, and that's why the Niners have built this whole thing on pass rush, because you can't ask corners to cover for 8 seconds. You can't do that. So yes, there have been guys are going to get beat on certain plays. You're not going to shut out the opponent every time. I don't see anything that makes me go, oh crap, this is right. This is a bad matchup, or this is the weakness on the team. I don't see it. We looked at secondary and offensive line. That's what we were worried about before the year. I think they've both passed the test so far.
And now we may have to look at the depth of the offensive line with Aaron Banks sustaining the biceps injury. We don't know how much time, if at all, he's going to miss. I saw that Kyle, in his post-game comments, said it's not the kind of bicep injury that is going to cost him the year, it looks like.
They call him day-to-day? Did they call him day-to-day?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Was that official? Someone said day-to-day because, sometimes they'll give you a little tip. Day-to-day, week-to-week, going to miss some time, what have you. I didn't see any of the official comment, but anyway.
Kyle's comment was, fortunately, it was a higher one. The low ones are the ones where you missed the year for, but we don't know if it was strained or pulled, but it was higher.
Got it.
So higher up toward the shoulder.
He has since spoken again today on his conference call with the media and said it was a strained shoulder and will be day-to-day.
Okay, good.
Day-to-day.
So not a torn biceps.
No.
Day-to-day
sort of makes you feel like the worst-case scenario a couple games?
Yeah.
It feels like the worst-case scenario.
Yeah. Okay. Best-case scenario, he's ready to go.
Yeah.
And you do have Feliciano, who played about half the game in his stead. So you got a veteran there. And, I mean, again, we're kind of reaching here looking for weaknesses. Your kicker hasn't missed. Your punter is incredible. Your kick returner has made great decisions on fair catches and, little 15-yard returns when necessary. There hasn't been anything.
I know.
It's a pretty easy watch.
It's really fun. It's really easy watch, but it's almost like there's weird emotions that come in. I know people who are like, and maybe this makes them nervous Nellies, but it's like, are you waiting for the other shoe to drop? It doesn't go like this. You don't just cruise through everybody, win the Super Bowl, and go home. There's going to be adversity somewhere at some point.
Yeah.
You'd think. There's no adversity-free season in the NFL. I don't think that exists. Does it?
Usually not. And
golly.
Even if you go back to the Dolphins and their famous undefeated season, I'm sure they had some spots where they were trailing and they had to pull stuff out, pull the rabbit out of the hat. So far through 5 games, this has been completely stress-free. As I mentioned, you've trailed for less than 2 minutes in the entire season.
And we can't find a player who's playing poorly.
Right.
There's no such thing as that in the NFL. You don't have 22 people plus, because there's also backups and others. There's no fan in America who's ever been like, yep, I like them all. They're all playing well.
And that's been the case. And, we keep waiting for a test. In this Sunday primetime spot against a really good team, we thought, an elite defense, we were told, and they went out there and you absolutely hammered Dallas. Hammered them.
Yeah, it's crazy. Let's keep talking to the peeps. 888-957-9570. How about Nick out in Ohio? Hey, Nick, thanks for calling. What's up?
Hey, fellers. I just wanted to know, I watched both the Lions game and the Niners game, and I just wondered if you guys also see a lot of similarities. Both have creative coaches or making good plays, offensive plays, and both have balanced offenses and defenses. Hutchinson is like, having a brain fart.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Niners defender.
Yeah. Like
Hutchinson,
Nick
for the
Bosa.
Lions and,
Yep.
And who?
You said you're going to say Hutchinson's
anyway.
kind of like Bosa.
Yeah, there we go. It just seems so many similarities. I just wonder what you guys thought. I know the Lions aren't yet on the Niners level yet, maybe not, but it just seems like they play a lot of the same way. And both quarterbacks are kind of, similar. They're not, playing like Hall of Famers, but they're getting the job done and very efficient.
Well, Nick, I will say this, and don't trigger me, Nick. Don't say Brock Purdy's not playing like a Hall of Famer, because yes, he is. We simply can't have that conversation yet. I guess the similarity between Jared Goff and Brock Purdy is that both of them are undersung. Like, both of them are absolutely, like, we did this last night. Fun game to play. Remove the name and their picture, and then just go stat line and figure out who you're talking about. Well, let's see. This guy has a 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. He is well over 1,200 yards, like averaging, somewhere north of 250 yards, and he's 4-1. I know you know who I'm talking about, but that's Jared Goff. Like, Jared Goff's numbers look a lot like Mahomes and Allen and Hurts' numbers. And obviously Purdy's do too, even more so, though, because he's got that 0 in the interception column.
Right.
So
you can't even do touchdown to interception ratios because the 0 does not allow for a ratio. There is no ratio.
I'm just here for the ratio. Sorry, we don't have one.
No
here.
ratio.
Yeah. So, but I guess there's a few similarities. They do like to they like to utilize the run game a lot. I think their coach has instilled a toughness in them. They do play selfless football, and they're balanced. I think the Lions are really good.
Yeah, and they scored 42 points.
Yep.
So that's where the comp, I think, lives right now here in Week 5. And they went out and they throttled Carolina. But still, for Detroit, this is a Detroit team that historically can't look past anyone. And now you sit at 4-1, and it's easy to say they're the third best team in the NFC, and they might be knocking on Philly's door.
Yeah, they're a factor. And the other thing about them is you can go ahead and give them that division now. That sucker's toast.
It's over.
They're winning that division. Minnesota's 1-4. The Bears are 1-4. The Packers are fine.
With a win tonight, they keep pace. They'd be a game back.
Yeah, but they're not. The Packers are going to be inconsistent with a quarterback who's starting for the first time, and really nothing else that stands out as amazing. If you watch Packer games, it's the same thing every time. They're kind of like, we'll do enough to stay in it, we'll do enough to not run away from somebody, and some crazy stuff could happen in the fourth quarter. They've had somebody come back on them, and they came back on someone, but when the Lions came to town, they got totally outclassed. So they're just not good enough to hang in there. The Lions are the class of that division, and how many times has that sentence ever come out of anyone's mouth in the history of ever?
I got a good friend, Derek, who is a Lions fan from Detroit. He's a Detroit guy through and through.
Okay.
And he gets emotional now on Sundays because
good for them.
He's a little older than me, so his whole life has been spent of the Lions being a doormat and a punchline, and now all of a sudden you're good. I mean, you're really good, and you're exciting, and the head coach has things working out there.
They don't actually bite kneecaps, but that press conference is not as funny as it was when it happened, right?
They're gonna bite a kneecap off.
Attaboy, coach. Like he did it. I was front of the line. We laughed our faces off at that when it happened. But he's done a great job. He changed the culture.
Yes, the guy came across as a bit of a clown, but now he's backed it up with a team that's 4-1. They're exciting, and their quarterback, who everyone wanted to cast off, he did more than just hang in there, big guy. Mm-hmm. Detroit is everybody's second favorite team.
I love them. I have a ton of Detroit stock in fantasy. A lot of Goff stock, a lot of Amon-Ra, too much Jahmyr Gibbs.
Did you survive in the fantasy this week? I mean, in Survivor?
Pick the Lions.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Pick the Lions.
There you go.
Piece of cake.
All right.
On to the next.
Okay.
Everybody had either Detroit or Miami, though, so everybody's fine.
Okay.
A couple of Buffaloes woke up early and ruined their day. But
whoa.
Yeah. Night-night.